Hello, good morning, and welcome to this very maiden edition of the Moment of Truth with the Center for Character and Leadership Development. It's a pleasure to have you join us at this very maiden edition of the program. We hope to have a very fantastic time together and enjoy ourselves. The meeting is going to be very rewarding, so I will indulge you to wait and participate throughout the meeting. It's going to be for a 1 hour meeting and it promises to be great. This is the Center for Character and Leadership Development, a platform that shows people how to transform their lives using principles. Principles are the things, are the elements, the laws that run the universe. And when someone aligns their lives to principles, their life can never fail. And in CCLD, we've discovered two major fundamental principles of life on which every other principles depend on. And that's the principles of truth and love. Besides these two principles, nothing else exists. And these two principles encompasses every other principles. So we believe when you have love, which is an embodiment and the highest level of all emotions and feelings, and truth, which is the embodiment of all knowledge, all understanding and wisdom of everything that can transform people's lives, you are sure to succeed in whatever you put your hands to do. So this morning, we are beginning on our leadership series, which has to do with living by design. Now, the question that comes to mind is, can you really sit down and predetermine how every day of your life unfolds? Do you have the capacity? Have you been given the power to sit down and design how we achieve that? How do we ensure that that happens? If we've been given the power to design every day of our lives and ensure that to a very large extent, up to 90% of the time, we can actually be executing a predetermined activities which will lead to a predetermined goal. And if that is the case, then we have in our hands the power to transform our lives, to transform every aspect of our life, whether it is business, whether it is profession, career, family, mental, spiritual, social life, whatever aspect of our lives, we have the power to do so. And that also prevents us from living haphazardly, from living and depending on what we call luck or chance. That makes us to free ourselves from allowing life to just happen. We tell life what we want to happen. We ensure that life makes that to happen. And so living by design helps us to unfold our life day by day, hour by hour, in the direction, in the way that we want our life to go. So this is a very important skill. This is a very important capacity. Living by design opens for us to know that, oh, life is never by chance. Life is not supposed to be lived by chance. Life is not supposed to be left alone to run its course like that. Just like the farm of a farmer cannot just be left alone to just run seamlessly, your life cannot and should not be left alone to run itself. Your life cannot run itself. Your life requires that you deliberately run that life the way it is supposed to be run. So I will encourage you to take up your life today and see how you can practically, day by day, hour by hour, unfold every reality that you want to see in your own life, in every aspect of your life, whether financial, mental, social, spiritual, business, whatever it is. Deliberately sit down and design that life the way you want it to go, the direction you want it to go, and then be ready to put in all the effort you need to put in to ensure that you get your life running in the way that it should go. Now, so having said that, I have few questions here which I would like to share with us to ensure that we actually design our life the way we want it to go. The first question, most times asking ourselves questions unveils to us elements and opens up our mind on how we want to see life unfold to us. 2020 came and took everybody by storm. We just suddenly discovered there's coronavirus and the whole world were affected. Almost every business came to a halt. Almost every traveling arrangement came to a halt. The world was kept indoors for at least 1 to 2 months, and every plan was disrupted. Luckily, began to change, and here we are in December trying to understand, okay, the year had gone the way it had gone. What did I achieve? What did I achieve this year? What did I do? What did I accomplish in my life this year? So questions are one way you could use to design your life from the scratch. And I have 4 questions that could help you sit down this year and try to analyze your life, how it has gone, what you think you could have done differently to make it better, and how 2020 should look like for you. Every success in life is predetermined. You have to predetermine what you want your life to look like before that life actually unfolds. For example, no one builds a house without first designing it. Nobody builds a car without first designing it. A life that is built before it happens is a life that is worth living. So how do you design your life? How do you build your life so that 2021 or 5 years from now, you are constantly making progress. You are constantly advancing, because if you don't design your life the way you want it to go, it's either somebody else will design it for you and you live the life designed by someone else, or your life will just run wild and you will just be solving the problem as it comes to you instead of solving it ahead of time. So there are 4 questions that could help you design your life the way you want it to go. The first question that you have to look at critically is, where am I now? You have to sit down in your house and just ask yourself, financially, where am I now? Look at your bank account. How much do I have in my bank account that could help me? How much do I have there? Is it 1 million? Is it 2 million? Is it 3 million? Is it 4 million? Is it 5? Is it 20? Or don't even have a dime in my account? What many books did I read this year? And what did I really learn? How did I learn from those books? What principles did I learn from those books? Did I apply any of them? Where am I now in my business? How many customers did I have this year? How many of them came back? How many of them did not come back? Financially, how am I doing in my business? Where are you now is the first question you need to ask yourself. Where are you now in your family? Where are you people now? Where are you, your wife, and your children now? What are you doing in your family? Do you have joy in your family? What happened this year? How are your children? Where are they now? What are they doing now? In your social life this year, how many places did you go to? Did you live a triangular life from worship center to your home and then to other places. So the first question you ask yourself in trying to unfold how your life will go is, where am I now? Take a stock of your achievement, take a stock of where you are, take a stock of what you have done, take a stock of everything concerning your life and analyze it critically and be sincere with yourself. Where am I now? Then the second question that could help you understand your life and design it well is, how did I get here? Now you have seen where you are. You know, okay, financially, this is where I am. Mentally, this is where I am. Socially, this is where I am. Physically, this is where I am. The next question is, how did I get here? How did I arrive at this location? At this juncture, I would like to say that nothing in life happens by chance. There is nothing that happens by luck. Everything follows a particular principle. It follows a particular law. And that law, in simple terms, is the law of cause and effect. They call it the law of karma in some places. They call it the law of sowing and reaping. They call it the law of action and reaction. So, how did you get to this present situation? How did you get here? Sit down. Are there decisions you made that brought you here? Are there opportunities that you could have grabbed but did not grab because you were afraid you couldn't do it? And because you missed that opportunity, you landed where you are. How did you get here? Was it your perspective to life that crippled you and did not allow you advance as you ought to advance? And because you didn't take that step, you remain where you are. How did you get here? What are the daily activities you did throughout the year that help you to arrive at where you are? Where you are is not the problem, but you need to know those things you did or did not do that made you to arrive at where you are. You need to know, because if you don't know how you get to this location, you will not know how to get out of it, and you will not know how to make progress from where you are. So this question is very critical. How did I get to this position? Was it my belief system? Did I believe in something that hindered me? Was it my thought pattern? What did I think about that did not allow me explore life as I ought to explore? So the second question you need to address, you need to look at in your life is, how did you get here? How did I get here? Were they challenges that I faced, and because I couldn't solve them, I landed myself here? Was it because I lost my job? Was it because my business collapsed? What happened? Take a stock at everything that happened in your life that led you to being where you are today. So the second very important question that you need to ask is, how did I get here? What did I do? What activities did I do? What was my thinking pattern? What was my emotional condition that made me arrive at where I am? So it is important to know how you got there, because every outcome is dependent on series of activities. Those activities combine themselves together to produce the final result that you see. So your destination now is a component, it's a composition of all the decisions you've made, all the actions and inactions that has taken place throughout the year. Those are the things that added up together to make you find yourself where you are. So understanding those things will open up your heart to understand how you got to where you are. Now, having known where you are and how you got to where you are, the next question you need to ask yourself is, where would I like to be? Where would I love to be? Where would I assign myself to be? 1 year from now, where would I want to be financially? 1 year from now, where would I want to be mentally? How many books would I love to read in the next 1 year? And what are the things I would like to change in my life? Where would I love to be a year from now? You need to sit down also and make a list. Those lists will now be the reality of your tomorrow. The list you make today about the things, about the places, about the achievements that you hope to accomplish in the next 365 days, or in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, will now be your reality tomorrow. So it is important you deliberately ask yourself sincerely, where would I love to be? Don't make it vague, make it real, make it very substantial, make it something that is clear, that is detailed. I want to read 10 books, for example, next year. And these are the books I want to read. I want to improve my financial skills. I want to improve my public speaking skills. I want to enhance this part of my life. I want to enhance that part of my life. And these are the things I would love to see happen in my family, happen in my profession, happen in my workplace. So you sit down and ask yourself the next question: 1 year from now, 2 years from now, where would I love to be? Where would I want to be? You have to sit down and design your life on where you would love to be. And you have to make it very detailed. We have about 7 aspects of our lives. You have your family, you have your health, you have your mental, you have your social, you have your financial, and then you have your career. So in each of these sections, sit down. It takes time to design a life. It takes time to design a building. It takes time to design a life. And except you design the life, your life will not get itself focused. This is what will now become a template on how you unfold the things you need to unfold. And you will see your life taking shape immediately you finish deciding where you want to go. You need to set it down, because nature has given us the power to make choices. We have the power of choice in our hand, and everything depends on that choice. Everything about your life depends on the choices you make. So the third question is you deciding where you would love to be 1 year from now. Now, having decided that, the last question is, how will I get there? Assuming you've decided that you want to read 4 books for next year, how am I going to read 4 books? Will I pick the books? Will it be audio books? Will it be visual books? Whatever kind of books that you want to lay your hands on, how am I going to get there? Would you want to improve your financial life by 20%? What are you going to do extra? Because for every plan to unfold, there must be activities, there must be plans, there must be goals, there must be tasks, there must be something you need to do to move you towards achieving those goals. Whatever goal you set, if you don't work on them, they will never become reality. And you cannot set those goals and then go to sleep. You cannot set those goals and abandon them. So this time, this is December 2020. You need to sit down and organize your life. You need to sit down and put your life together on the things you need to do. And we've shared 4 questions you need to consider while planning your life. One is, where am I now? Examining your starting point. Where am I now gives you opportunity to determine your starting point, your baseline, where you are springing from. And the second question is, this your baseline? How did you arrive at your baseline? What brought you to your baseline? Because everything you are today is a reflection of all the decisions and choices you have made in time past. So how did you get here? Find out how you got to where you are. The third question is looking forward. Where am I going? Where am I going financially? Where am I going spiritually? Where am I going mentally? Where am I going socially? You list them down. I have done that already for myself, and they look very beautiful. They look great. This year, I knew what I wanted to do, although I have not really arrived there, but I've made significant improvement in my life, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my achievements so far. So you can also sit down on your own and design your life. Design it. Don't leave your life for the government. The government may not have much to contribute to your life. Don't leave your life to the economics. It may not have much to offer you. Don't leave your life to chance. Chance might not have so much to give you. design your life and make it work the way you want it to go. So these are the 4 questions. Now, where the sacrifices you may need to do is you may need to develop a new skill. We are now living in a world where certificate amounts to very little now. What is moving the world now is skills. What can you offer? What can you bring to the marketplace? So one thing that will help you realize some of those goals that you have set is the new skill you will need to learn, you need to develop, the new capacity that you need to develop that will move you forward. Maybe your thought pattern too needs to change. You know, many of us have been conditioned, knowingly or unknowingly, to think and act in a particular way, which might not be very healthy and helpful. Maybe you need to change your thought pattern. Maybe also you need to change your belief system. Maybe your belief system is not actually correct. Maybe that's what is hindering your success in your own life. So you need to take time to align yourself with this aspect of your life. Our mindset, maybe it's even your mindset that you need to change. You need to take time to predetermine what you need to change to take you to where you are going. So our first meeting today is living your life deliberately, living your everyday, planning it, putting it into perspective, and ensuring that it brings out the particular progress, the particular result that you want. At this juncture, I would like to ask if you have a comment, if you have a question, if you have anything to contribute, please feel free to send your comment or your questions by typing it on the space for comment, and we'll be ready to address it. So this morning, we have talked about living your life by design, living your life by design and not by chance. It is better to live your life by design than by chance. Next year, 2021, will be a peculiar year in its own way. It will come with its own surprises. It will come with its own ups and downs. Now, do you have what it takes to weather the storm? Do you have the capacity to weather the storm? And despite all oppositions and hindrances, still go ahead to achieve all your goals. Do you have what it takes? Have you put those things in place? Have you developed yourself to that point where you can actually build your capacity to achieve everything you want to achieve? Okay, so at this juncture, I would like to hear from you. If you have any word you want to say, any comment, any question you want to say, please feel free to type it on the comment section, and we will react to it accordingly. So life is all about design. If you look at nature, nothing happens by chance in nature. Nothing happens haphazardly. The sun shines and rises and sets at a particular pattern. Every planting season comes and goes in a particular pattern. So your life also needs to follow a pattern. Put your life into a pattern and then begin to see it unfold the way you would love it to unfold. So at this juncture, again, I would like to tell you a little bit about Center for Character and Leadership Development while waiting for your comment. The Center for Character and Leadership Development is a platform that have 4 different activities. We teach people how to succeed, develop their leadership and personal enhancement. And we also have a program which we call Business Innovation and Growth. We have a section which we call Character and Competence Development for people who want to build their skills. We also have the 4th one, which we have Communication and Public Speaking, for people who want to grow and advance their public speaking skills. So if you want to develop your public speaking skills, the Center for Character and Leadership Development can help you do that. So we are here in Abuja, Nigeria, and our office is at Suite B311 Global Plaza, Jabi. You can reach us can reach me on any of those numbers or send an email to us, and we'll be glad to respond to you. I have a message from Oluwafemi Daniel. Thank you so much for your encouragement. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. So if you have your comments, you have your email, you have what to questions to ask, please feel free to ask your questions. The floor is open now for our interactions. This program will come up every Saturday by 11 o'clock. It's a 1 hour program, and it's going to be very interactive. It's not going to be a one-way program. It's going to be interactive. We're going to be talking a lot about several aspects of leadership. So if you have comment on how you could design your life, please ask and we'll share. Now, there are several ways you could design your life and make it work. Number one is you need to know where you are, like we've said. You need to know how you got to where you are now, which depends on your choices, it depends on your decisions, which depends on your ability to move forward. Number three, it depends on taking note of where you want to be exactly. Where would you want to be? Where would you want to be? Thank you so much, my coach, Reginald Mba. Thank you for your message. It's quite encouraging. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you so much. So if you have a comment, please send it to our comment box. We'll be glad to project it and thank you and acknowledge it. And then the last one is knowing the sacrifices you need to pay to get to your destination. Please take time to sit down and make your plan. Planning is not a joke. It's one of the most difficult aspects in every success. But once you finish the plan, it will take away 90% of waste while you are trying to achieve your result. So it is important that you sit down and take these 4 questions and analyze them and evaluate them and come up with something that you are going to be pursuing maybe for the next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the line. So ensure that you get yourself ready for next year. Don't let next year take you by storm. Don't allow next year to take you by surprise. Enter next year full of life, full of activity, full of expectations. And from the first day all the way to the last day, you know exactly what you're going to be doing. And for each progress that you make, you will have to document it. You need to build a database where you will be documenting all your achievements. And if at the end of the year like this, in December again, when you sit down to analyze where you are in December 2021, you will go back to your record and see those things you say you will do and see how you were able to do them and see those decisions, those choices, those actions, those activities that helped you to achieve those goals, and look at the process that you follow. Because sometimes we achieve success, but we don't know how we achieve those success. We just did it haphazardly, and then we arrive at our destinations and we're happy, which is something very good. But you need to document. If you could see a pattern that helped you to achieve your success, document that pattern and try it again and see whether it will help you achieve another level of success, then another one. Then you know that you have found a pattern on which you can be using every single time to achieve your result. So it is important that you put your life into perspective, plan it the way you want it to go, and see how your life will unfold. Nobody ever achieves success by accident, neither will you. But if you sit down from today and put your life into perspective, planning it day by day, hour by hour, and working on those plans to see them come to fruition and see them come to realization, I tell you, in no time, you will make progresses that are beyond and sometimes startling to you. There are certain phenomena you need to understand. One of it is you must learn how to know where you are. 2, you must know how you got there. You need to know those decisions you took that kept you where you are. Sometimes some people say we have put in all the effort and nothing seems to change. Well, uh, those efforts that you put in, sit down and look at those efforts. What are those efforts? What did you do? What did you what did you do? And look at those things that you did. Will they normally have taken you to the result that you wanted? Sometimes the effort people put in is just the effort of praying and fasting. If you simply pray and fast, do you think it will help you solve the problem of employment? Do you think it will help you solve the problem that you are trying to deal with, whether it is financial, social, whatever problem it is? Do you think that your effort that you put in could help you arrive at that destination? If you know it could. So what in those efforts, what steps do you think you missed out? You need to sit down and carefully look at what you did. And if you did nothing, you have to be sincere with yourself. I know I did not do as much as I should have done to arrive to get this result done. And then you put in extra effort, because for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. That is the law that governs nature. You put in, you get out. Garbage in, garbage out. Good quality in, quality out. Excellence in, excellence out. So you must follow the principles that govern your life. Everyone who has followed the same principle always achieve the same result. I love what Brian Tracy said about success, because most books are written on the secret of success. And he said that the secret of success is that there are no secret for success, only timeless principles that are proven to be true over the centuries. So there are no secret, there are no rocket science anywhere. There are no secret to success. It is just the steps, procedures, systems, which are everywhere around us. But you must know how to follow them step by step, period by period, procedure by procedure, activity by activity to achieve your result. A good example is while I was in secondary school, there were some students that were exceptionally brilliant, and I wanted to be like one of them. So I went to them and said, and asked him, why are you so brilliant? And what do you do differently from what I am doing? He said, well, after school, me and my friends, we went somewhere, we gathered together and we simply read. And I asked him, are you saying that if I read, I'll also be like you? He said, yes. So I decided to give it a try. 6 months down the line, I started hearing people saying, wow, you are so brilliant. So you know these things already. It now helped me to understand that being intelligent in school was not a rocket science. It's just spending extra hours reading what you need to know. And that is just about it. Every aspect of success, every success that you want, there are people that are already there. All you need to do is find those people, ask them how they got to where they are, and whatever they do, try to replicate it in your life and see whether you can get the same result or not. Because most of them will open up and tell you, this is the secret of my success. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And if you apply the same thing that they are doing, you will always arrive at the same destination that they do. So one thing that could also help you next year when you are executing your plan is get people who are knowledgeable in the field that you want to go into, in the business that you want to go into, and ask them for guidance. And I'm sure they will help you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. All right, thank you so much at this juncture. I hope we shared a lot of moments together. We hope to continue these broadcasts next week. And then finally, I would like to ask if anybody still have questions to ask or comments to make about what we have shared. Today, we looked at living your life by design, and we said you can do that by asking yourself 4 sincere questions and try to find answers to it. The first question is, where am I now? You look at your life, try to understand exactly where you are, and let that question lead you to making your present condition your baseline, your starting point, your springboard to facing life. So the first question is, where am I now? In my finances, in my family, where am I now? Where would I say I be when you measure yourself with other people? Where would you say you are now in your own life, 2020. Where am I now? The second question that we say you should ask is, how did I get to where I am now? How did you get here? What were those decisions you made 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even this year that have brought you to where you are now? What were the opportunities? What were your beliefs? What were your perspectives that brought you to where you are? The third question you need to ask yourself is, where am I going from here? What would I love to see in my life in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, the next 20 years? Where would I really love to be? What do I want in my life? What do I want to see in my life? What do I want to experience in my life? What are those things that I'm looking forward to? Whatever it is, there are no limits to what you can set. There are no limit at all. So you are the one to decide what you want in your life. You can make it a lifetime pursuit. You can make it a 10-year pursuit. You can make it a 20-year pursuit. What country would you like to go in the next 5 years? What places would you like to see? What areas, what things would you want to see? What changes would you like to make in your life? And then finally, how will you get there? How would you achieve those results that you have set for yourself? These four analysis, these four self-evaluation will help you go places, will help you achieve tremendous results in your own life. So thank you so much for being a part of our broadcasts this morning. We look forward to welcoming you again next week. This program happens every Saturday by 11 a.m. and it's a 1-hour program. But today, being our first time, we would like to end it right here. So I'll give you 2 minutes. If you have comments, if you have any question you would like to ask about life, about planning, about setting goals, we'll be glad to respond to it. And I'd also like to say very big thank you for Oluwafemi Daniel Olumuyiwa, who is now in Canada. Well done, bro, for joining us. I will also thank my very good friend, Reginald Mba. He's the experienced Toastmaster. Thank you so much, sir, for joining this program and for your fantastic comment. Thank you for those who came from Nigeria Info 95.1 to join this program. Also, you are also very much welcome to the program, The Moment of Truth. Okay. So at this juncture, I look forward to seeing you again next week, Saturday, same time, 11 a.m. Thank you for joining us and have a very fantastic week planning and a wonderful transformation in your life. Thank you so much. Bye.